The Ice Age and global warming will be discussed so that we can understand what kind of situation we are in and how to adapt. Global warming is really short-term as fossil fuels are used to keep us warm and fossil fuel supply is limited to a few hundred years while global cooling will last thousands of years. Global cooling does not require energy, it is just the absence of heat or energy. The universe is cold, so once the heat is gone we will be cold. Only the sun provides us the heat. Hydroelectric plants, geothermal heat, wind and tidal energy as well as solar energy all come from the sun. Nuclear energy provides energy but the waste is radioactive and becomes a long-term problem. The radioactive waste will take thousands of years to decay to a safe level. Despite all the talk about global warming and ice melts in the polar regions, we had polar vortex last year and a winter storm all over Europe and snow in the Sahara. Is this a seesaw period between winter and spring where alternate weeks of cold winter and mild weather before spring finally settles in? We have been told global warming will bring in irreversible changes, but what fuels global warming? It is mostly fossil fuels which we only have a few hundred years supply. It is stored sunlight in vegetation and converted into petroleum or coal under immense pressure under rocks or under seabeds. Hydroelectric power from dams and energy from nuclear power stations provide some of the energy we use, and heating from geothermal sources for some buildings. Then there are solar panels, tidal and wind machines to extract energy, sunlight, waves and wind. Also burning organic waste provides some energy. We are still working on harnessing nuclear fusion to provide energy in the future. Why is the Ice Age important? The sun that provides all the heat and light that sustains life here on Earth has a lifespan of 10 billion years and it is already 5 billion years old. Primates separated from monkeys 7 million years ago. Lucy would be 3 million years old. She was half ape and hominid. Hominids formed in Africa during the Ice Age. The Ice Age lowered sea levels and locked in water in ice fields. The African forest turned dry, thus forcing chimpanzees to walk as they foraged for food. So the Ice Age is very important, as it was the Ice Age from which humans developed. To understand the Ice Age it is important to know the Milankovitch cycles. There are some very good videos and articles on the Milankovitch cycles. Indiana University site. Milankovitch cycles and glaciation. http://www.indiana.edu/Geology105/images/Gaia_chapter_4/Milankovitch.htm. There are 3 YouTube videos. 1. Climate change and the Milankovitch cycles. YouTube. 2. Milankovitch cycles and Ice Age explained. YouTube. 3. Milankovitch cycles precession and obliquity_cosmology and astronomy_Khan Academy. YouTube. Obliquity Obliquity means the Earth rotates on an axis that is at an angle. Currently it is at 23.5 degrees to the vertical, but it wobbles from 24.5 degrees to 22.1 degrees. It takes 20,500 years to go from 24.5 degrees to 22.1 degrees. The total time to complete the cycle from 24.5 degrees to 22.1 degrees back to 24.5 degrees is 41,000 years. Let us do some simple math. 24.5 degrees minus 22.1 degrees equals 2.4 degrees. 1 degree latitude is roughly 70 miles. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. So the total distance the Sun travels is 2.4 by 70 by 5,280 equals 887,040 feet. Time taken is 20,500 years. In 1 year the travel is 887,040 over 20,500 equals 43.3 feet. The circumference of the Earth is 25,000 miles. 25,000 by 5,280 equals 132 million feet. Divide by 100 equals 1.32 million. 2.4 degrees takes 20,500 years, so 1.4 degrees takes 2.4 over 1.4 by 20,500 equals 11,958 years. Simple math. 43.3 feet by 100 feet is the footprint of an average house. So in 1 year 1.32 million houses moved south with the Sun. 23.5 degrees minus 22.1 degrees equals 1.4 degrees. Earth wobbled. The Sun moves 2.4 degrees, but on Earth it is 168 miles. The Sun must heat the equatorial tropics by moving 168 miles south. What is happening is that the Tropic of Cancer moves from 24.5 degrees to 22.1 degrees. The tropical belt shrinks as the Tropic of Capricorn follows in the opposite direction. The Tropic of Cancer is moving south while the Tropic of Capricorn is moving north. The tropical belt is being heated more directly overhead while the rest of the Earth is not, so these areas are colder. Precession. When objects spin or rotate on an axis, certain forces come into play. This relationship is known as the right-hand rule. Precession keeps the object on Earth upright and wobbling in a circular fashion. The circle is the precession circle. The centripetal force is the precession force. The precession circle is at the northern polar region. The tilted spinning axis moves slowly on the precession circle with a wobble, thus weaving a wavy path along the circle from 24.5 degrees to 22.1 degrees, taking 20,500 years. The time it takes to complete the precession circle is 23,000 years. The little circle is the watchable circle with a radius of 1.2 degrees, that is, the spinning axis goes around this circle while also precessing about the precession circle, thus the path is wavy. The precession circle and watchable circle shown in a plan view. The right-hand rule shown in a 3D representation as 3 arrows joined together at one point. They are pointing outwards away from the common point at right angles to each other. The up arrow is the forefinger, the left arrow the thumb, and the arrow at 45 degrees is the middle finger. If the middle finger is pointing to represent gravity, then the forefinger would represent the direction of the spin, and the thumb the horizontal precession force, keeping the spinning object upright from toppling over. The precession is shown with a spinning top, the earth, and a diagram of the right-hand rule. A spinning top is shown as a triangle at a slight angle to the vertical. Gravity is pulling down on it, but the horizontal centripetal precession force is keeping the top from falling. The earth is at angle to vertical of the ecliptic plane. The sun's gravity is pulling Earth horizontally, but the vertical precession force is the centripetal force keeping Earth spinning along the precession circle. The Earth is shown tilted at 23.5 degrees with summer in the southern hemisphere. As the sun is so far away, the rays are shown as parallel horizontal lines. The rays at the Tropic of Capricorn are warmer, as they cover a smaller area than those outside the tropics. The rays at higher or lower latitudes are at an angle to the surface of the Earth, so same amount of light warms a larger area. In the north, the polar region beyond the tilt angle of 23.5 degrees doesn't get any direct sunlight the whole winter, so it is very cold. The obliquity is shown as a sine wave. The wavelength is 41,000 years. The y-axis is the angle the tilt wobbled about from 24.5 degrees to 22.1 degrees. Elliptical orbit. Now we should look at the Earth's orbit around the Sun. It is elliptical but almost circular. The perihelion is 91.4 million miles from the Sun, while the aphelion is 94.51 million miles away. When the Sun is at the Tropic of Cancer, that is summer in the northern hemisphere, the Earth is at the aphelion, that is 94.51 million miles from the Sun, and when the Sun is at the Tropic of Capricorn, that is winter in the northern hemisphere and summer in the southern hemisphere, the Earth is at the perihelion, or 91.4 million miles from the Sun. The Earth is closer to the Sun when most northerners in the northern hemisphere experience winter, so the southern hemisphere is warmer than the northern hemisphere. Earth is revolving around the Sun in a year, with the tilt having the northern hemisphere facing the Sun in the aphelion.